Welcome in, welcome in, welcome back to the Crypto Bully Bear channel where there's only fun decoding and no financial advice. And today is the 22nd that we were taught of Master Builder, Master Destroyer. Julian calendar is 9/11, 11/9, 9/9, 11/11, whatever you want to say. Anyway, I want to go back onto that puzzle because I showed you yesterday that Thanksgiving that they were celebrating Blue Christmas, right? Go back to the poker game. I was just showing you the king. And I was telling you that was Burger King because that was the same food place that Marty drove by when he left on Back to the Future Part 1. Remember, he jumped on the skateboard, he left the house right in front of Burger King, he grabbed onto the pickup truck, and he took off. Well, Burger King, my friends, I believe is XPR Proton. So, but if you go back to that riddle now, the bell, they had the big bell above, and the bell said Merry Christmas, and we're having a blue Christmas. Now, is it something that's going to explode? I don't know. I'm just saying, if the riddles have any value, I'm just going by the riddles. All right? I'm not trying to convince you to do anything. Just saying, by the riddles, by that bearable guy 1, 2, 3 riddle. That's what it's showing. So whatever. It's Thanksgiving tomorrow. We're gonna see what's what. And I think we're close. Another thing I want to mention also is that there's always a 3-year cycle. So 2017, we had that, right? There was a big bull run, right? Then 2020 is the next 3 years. We had the major crash, and then we had a mini bull run, right? Nice, all the way up to May, and then when it was May, it crashed. So like I said, 2017 we had a burst up, 2020 we had a burst down, now we're in 2023. I'm hoping that now it's the reversal with a boost up. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but it's just, like I said, we're just having fun. I believe that I'm in the right coins, and I told you guys what I thought I was in, what I loved, what I liked, what I was into, what I jumped out of, and that's really about it. That's really about it. So I just wanted to mention that one thing about the poker game. It did say Merry Christmas. It is a blue Christmas tomorrow. That teal stocking lines up on a Thursday. I always thought whatever they were trying to do back then, when they were going to finish, maybe it would be on a Tuesday or maybe on a Thursday, only because it's TT representing the Towers, the Twins. I don't know. I'm just playing around. TT, maybe not. Who knows? And again, I don't know which calendar. It's so confusing. You look at so many things and things line up here and there, but then it's things line up for here this date. But then if you go back to the Julian calendar and then you start overlooking other things, then you'd be like, oh shit, yeah, now that links up to 13 days later. Then you'll see something in the news, and it's just so crazy. I don't know, just so crazy. If you go back and watch the latest Simpsons, it's a Thanksgiving one. And if you look through the episode, there's a calendar in the back, and there's no dates, but there's a zero. There's only a zero on all the spaces through November. There's no number, so you don't know what number is what. But there's a zero, which would be our Thursday of Thanksgiving of this year. Now, would it be layer zero? Will it be some type of, blue Christmas where people that are not into a certain ecosystem might get hit? Are we going to get wallets hit because they want you to KYC, and if you're not getting KYC wallets, that's another thing, we have to think about. Those wallets can get hit, let's say, and this is just storytelling, okay? I'm not saying I'm right. Let's just say that all the wallets get hit, right? There's a little EMP because they already set things up about solar flares, talking about internet going down for a decade, and it'll take a decade to fix, which is funny because they're only talking about the internet there. And if you're just talking about the internet, fiber runs on power, and if we don't have power, that means the power grid must have went down. And if the power grid went down, don't fucking worry about the internet. You gotta worry about more than the internet. You're talking about you have no fridge, you have no heat, people that depend on machines to live. You won't be able to use your phone no more. No more emails. The way we communicate is just gonna go back to basic caveman style shit. I'm just saying, realistically. But it's also whatever you think, and I haven't really reached that point yet. Meaning, like, they're saying like all this shit is all bullshit, and it's whatever you think is going to come true. And if people watch the same television and watch the same news, they're going to get the same idea. And if they get the same idea and the same thoughts, because your thoughts create, and if everybody has the same thoughts, that's a very powerful manifestation. While everybody's having that same thought at the same time. Because if you're watching the tube at the same time, because it's only on at a certain time, then everybody's watching at the same time, and while they're watching it, taking this information in, all of a sudden their thoughts are like, oh my god, they're visualizing what the news is trying to, whatever message I should say that they're trying to put out there. If it's scary, if it's not scary, depending on yourself. Point is, when you're all thinking about something at the same time, most likely you could probably create something. So, a second. Sorry guys, you can just get raw footage here. Ain't no pause in this, little fancy fucking words flying across my screen. I don't know. I don't know why I'm not too tech savvy. Digging into shit and using my mind and using my hands, those are different things. I don't know. When it comes to like tech shit, I get a little twisted. Maybe I get too much information. But anyway, like I was saying, they're talking about the internet going down. If the internet goes down, there's gonna be a lot of more problems than that. Like heat, nobody cooking, we ain't gonna have no food. So, and if you're living in the city, like somebody like me, kind of like, you know what I mean? Got really nowhere to grow anything over here. Everything's concrete, jungle. Everybody depends on these stores to open up. And I'm like, and if these stores close down, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? If you don't have enough stacked in your house already, and you can't provide for yourself, and you don't have a chicken coop, I mean, I don't know who's gonna eat chicken, but I'm just saying, like, if you didn't have a chicken, at least just to get something in your stomach, just so you can get, over to the next day. You don't have a garden, you don't have anything. Kind of fucking jammed up. You're jammed up. So, I don't know. Hopefully tomorrow we see something. We don't. But I really strongly feel that there was a lot of 9s out there, 11s and 9s, and it would be a perfect time. This is why I throw these dates out. This is why I get excited. This is why I have this passion in me. Because, I like to see something now, I would love to see something now. A nice little pump. If we can shave off these zeros and at least put, even if it's a single digit, 1 or 2, which I don't think that's going to happen. I think when Metallicus and XPR starts making that move, it's going to do like the Olympics, like that lady and just fucking leap. I don't think it's going to be a steady type thing. Or like that guy that holds the fucking thing around their neck and they launch that shit. That's going to be, I believe, the price when it starts to fly. But I don't know. I just know exciting times are coming in. And like I said, 2017, we had the big bump. 2020, the big fallout. And 2023, hopefully we have the big pump again. And there's little coins that are doing 2, 3, 400% is because people feel like the bull run is coming. They're probably trying to position themselves. Always like retail people coming in, but that's like peanut money compared to what is going to come in when the banks and everybody else gets in once the regulations kick in and everyone's like feels safe that they can use these assets when regulations are in. Retail is just a small amount of chump change, you know. And again, retail is buying in and out, trading in and out, in and out. I think this point, when the institutes come in, you think they're gonna sell off their assets? Most likely, I think they're gonna hold on to them and just let it. They're gonna just be growing because the retail people are gonna try to catch up, and then the banks are already gonna be in it. So while the retail people try to catch up, the early investors are gonna be sitting and waiting. Because once this shit starts hitting the fan, that's when people want to jump in. Is when they see progress, when they see growth. You know, if they don't believe in it, they're not gonna get into it. You know what I mean? They want to see some type of positive thing. You know, in order to be like, oh, okay, that's what it's doing. Oh, I can be part of that. Okay, not they don't want to put in the work, because when you put in the work, then you understand where some of these projects are going, and you understand like, okay, that's FUD, that's this, that's that. How many times you seen a company say, oh, this happened, they brought down the value, chump change. They bring down the value because they know something big is coming so they can get in on the cheap and make money on it. You know, once you see somebody talking shit about an asset or a company, look into it deeper, because most likely they're talking shit to lower the price so they can get in. Because most likely, if they're not, they're in already, and if they're in already, they're not going to be talking shit about it because they want the price to stay up. They don't want to lose value. So just be careful. I'm just saying, just be careful. Especially investors, these guys that got big money, you know, like look at Warren Buffett. They're talking shit about Bitcoin, this and that. Come on. The future's going to be digital. The main goal would be perfect to have you in an electric car, a computer on wheels that I can turn on and off your car. Say when you're gonna fucking travel, when you can travel, what time you can travel, right? With your money as well. If we don't like the way you speaking yesterday, you ain't gonna eat today. You know, you ain't gonna get no heat today. It's gonna get to a point where, like they said, like the doors and everything is gonna be automatic and digital. You're gonna, you know, look at Back to the Future 2. They had to scan their thumbs to get in. There was no doorknobs. So that being said, no doorknobs, that means magnetic, probably they lock it in. And if you're trying to get outside, this is what I heard. I'm not saying this is going to be truthful, but from what I heard, you're trying to get outside, you ain't going to get outside. Sorry, Tommy, Jimmy, Barbara, we didn't like the way you were speaking. We didn't like your opinion on this political thing. So I think it's best for you to stay inside and think about what you did and try again tomorrow. Why do you think they're starting to have driverless cabs, and now they're removing the steering wheel? Because logically they'll tell you, well, we don't have a driver in there, so you're going to remove the steering wheel. Now when they remove the steering wheel, if you're in that cab, you can't control it, right? Because there's nothing to steer. It goes by GPS. From what I heard, rumors, again, this is all stories, is that, let's say you were slipping up and you owed this or that or whatever the case is, or they were looking for you, and you just happen to be very clever to not get caught, and you get into a cab and they figure you out. If you're trying to go to grandma's house, it's going to bring you to the 666th precinct. And then they're going to speak to you about your whereabouts, about whatever the incident is, and why you've been so distant. So anyway, these are the things that are happening. I really feel strongly about 2023. I hope something pops, right? You know, now that I don't have the dog. I don't have the responsibility attached to me. So that being said, me and my wife, we can get up and go and come as we please now. So if I do see a nice bump, it would be nice for us to go, just pick up and hit this hotel, hit that hotel. Because listen, at the end of the day, they say you don't own anything, right? And it's funny because people will start running to go buy this and go buy that. I'm like, but why would I go buy all this shit and throw my money away if I don't own it? I'm just gonna rent. I'm just gonna rent. Because if I don't like the space, if I want a smaller space, if I want a bigger space, maybe I don't want the backyard anymore. Maybe I don't want the responsibilities of doing the lawn. Maybe I want just to come home and have that. It's nice to rent. I rent here, I rent there. Maybe I might buy a spot where I can just go. You know what I mean? That I know that I can go as long as I follow the rules. Right? Paying your taxes and stuff like that. You know that there's rules in order to maintain your house. So you don't own it. You only own it because you don't really own it actually. You only own the privileges of using it and going here and there and getting let's say like the gains and stuff like that. You bought it for $200, now you sell it for $400, you get the gains and stuff like that. But when you get the gains, you're paying taxes. Who are you paying taxes to? You own it, right? So shouldn't you get the whole what? Right? You sold it for $400, you should get the $400 in your pocket. Why are you giving capital gains tax? Or if you gave it to your children and never ever, supposedly, don't ever put the property in your kid's name when you pass away and let them take it. Because most times, and I think I probably said this before, most times, let's say if you bought the house for $40,000 and now they have it and at that time it's worth $500, then they're going to say that your kid owes fucking like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of taxes and shit. I don't know, do a lot of babbling over here. I'm waiting for my boy. Somebody came over here to speak to me. Anyway, like I said, point is, don't leave the names in your kids. Supposedly, you should be getting a trust because the trust is something you create, and if you create it, you can make your own rules. LLC, the government creates. So that's why they get their hands in it and they get a percentage and this, that, and the third. And you need a license to do this and that. So let me stop babbling. Anyway, let's see what tomorrow brings. If not, I really strongly feel great about November. I don't know why, but the dates just line up. Like I said, if nothing happens this week, my only other dates is the 29th and the 30th, and the 28th. You got 8/8 also. So yesterday was 8/8. Today's a 9/11 day. Tomorrow is a 1/11 day, right? November 9th. So it's really November 10th on the Julian. It's the 23rd to us. We seen the Michael Jordan. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm just going by things that I've been noticing and what they've been shoving in our faces. If any of that shit means anything, then I would see November being a good time to do something. So, and the last thing I will say, and I'll get off, is if you start noticing, let me say a few other things. If you start noticing, there's a lot of people that are XRP holders that are getting the hint, that are jumping now into XPR. Okay? But they're not really talking about it. And go back to my first video. My first video, I shouted out every single influencer that I listened to. Okay? Go watch any of their channels. If they're still talking about XRP, fucking just fraud. They just want your money. They just want your money. Alright? That's all I'm going to say. Because there's people on there that I called out. I got XRP, they got XPR wallets that don't even talk about XPR. And there's one down there with a Z. And he actually talks shit about XPR. But supposedly, I don't know, there's a wallet. It doesn't belong to him. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Who knows? Some of these wallets got no value. So that being said, somebody could have created their name. and was hoping that they could have sold it to one of these influencers. Like, oh yeah, I got your name on the Web Wealth wallet. If you want it, I'll sell it to you. Blah blah blah. So and that's why there's no money in there. So I know Crypto Rick. He had posted a few pictures. He showed a few people, also XRP influencers. That was talking about XRP, but it had XPR wallets, and some of them had zero value. So to me, I was just thinking, it could be theirs, or it could have been somebody that created the wallet and that's hoping to try to make a couple of dollars off it by selling it to these guys, because they know that they make money on YouTube. So who knows? Anyway, I think we're near. Metallicus is very compliant, running like a bank, and as we get out of the paper money, Metallicus is building the first digital asset bank. So digital money is coming. A digital bank is here already. Sooner or later, everyone will be on the new system. So it's basically, it's coming if you like it or not. Like the space said, like Rick said, it's coming if you like it or not. You can either jump in now and take control and your choices of assets, or sit back and let Big Brother decide for you. Later.